My name's Cathy Smith. I'm a funeral home manager from Keighley in West Yorkshire. I'm also a funeral director and embalmer for Co-operative funeral care. My job is a funeral home manager that entails looking after 4 small funeral homes and the staff that work within it, and also arranging and conducting funerals and embalming as well. I enjoyed the more creative aspects at school. I enjoyed art and I enjoyed PE. You know, more practical things that I could get involved with rather than sort of maths and physics side of it. I wasn't particularly good at that at all. I achieved 3 O-levels and I got a bunch of GCSEs as well. And I failed a couple of exams, particularly maths was when I failed. So I left school at 15 because I'm a summer. My birth is towards the end of the summer. And I went to work for our local electricity board. They gave me the opportunity to go to college on day release, where I got a BTEC in Business Studies and Finance after a couple of years, and then I continued to work for them for 15 years. One thing that happened in my life that had an influence on me obviously was my son being born when I was 19, because that kind of dictated my 20s, if you like. It dictated that I needed to stop within a job that I was in, which, you know, luckily I worked for an employer that was steady away. I needed to make sure that I was able to support myself and my son, because obviously we lived by ourselves in the community. And I guess at the time I didn't see it as being difficult, but now reflecting back where I am sort of 18 years down the road, then I can see that it was important that I did that, but never regretted doing that actually. But yeah, that was a massive change in my life, obviously. I got into this industry by seeing an advert in a local newspaper. I'd been made redundant a few months before from the job I'd had from leaving school. And it was for a receptionist and administrator at a local funeral home near to where I lived. Now, I'd decided when I was made redundant that I wanted to have something that inspired me and not particularly something that I did just because I needed money to support my family. So that's a decision I made. So I went along for the interview and liked the people that I spoke to very much and was offered the job as an administrator. It did mean quite a cut in pay to what I'd actually, because I'd been at my last company for quite a long time. But I decided it was worth taking the risk because it was something that I was interested and intrigued in. Quite quickly I thought, as I saw the funeral directors and the other roles within the business, I thought, gosh, I could do this, you know, equally as better, if not better, than the people that are doing it, in my opinion. It wasn't particularly a female environment, it was very male orientated, so I really thought there was something that I could bring as a woman. But opportunities in this industry can be difficult to come across. But I was fortunate enough that somebody got promoted within another business, and an opportunity to move funeral homes and become a trainee funeral director came up, which I went for along with lots of other people from the business and got it. So that was good. So that was my first sort of step into funeral directing. There's one story that springs to mind, and that was a story of an 11-month-old boy that passed away from a sudden cot death, and I'd wondered how I would feel about dealing with him and his family, because it is unusual for children to die, it really is. And I was able to talk them through that process and give them choices and actually make that process easier for them. Afterwards, after the funeral service, to get a lovely cuddle from them and a card afterwards to say that we'd really made a difference just means everything. It means everything.